dedication to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian BIAFRA War and IPOB families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian BIAFRA War.
Nak tukar kayu mau bala. Mana datang ni? Apa kata beli peran tambahan sekali? Wow, banyaknya!
Inilah We Want You giveaway dari U-Mobile dengan hadiah epic berjumlah 3 tarif.
Yet another great leader has risen up now, leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyomadika yabika kwa namno wao. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. Mwanemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along. Holy, 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 holy. Nandekano is another savior.
Humans, and we kept it for 3 years. Even now, I still feel very proud of the fact. Oh yes.
Another savior.
Holy, 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 another savior.
Another savior.
Giveaway Rambut, hadiah termasuk 3 produk X70, 15 model Iris, 100 model Kris, 100 iPhone 11 Pro, dan banyak lagi. Nak join? Hanya belanja, kumpul.
Special dedication to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian BIAFRA War and IPOB families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian BIAFRA War.
That is why they're out on the street. People wake up, there is no hope. Every 1 mile you get to the police checkpoint, every idiot is talking about security, 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 every blessed day. Whereas the best security in life
let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out.
Food, shelter, and clothing. You can form every military squad, every police squad, any squad you want in your life. There are only three ingredients to guaranteeing security anywhere in life since the time of Adam and Eve: food, clothing, shelter. Once people have food, they have clothing, they have shelter, you have solved 90% of your security problems. But in the zoo, they have no jobs for graduates. People cannot even get into decent schools. People who score the highest marks from the south, they cannot get into unitary schools. What are the salaries of their parents? People you expecting to go to decent schools. Some universities in the zoo, they charge an upwards of 1.5 million naira, when the average salary is not up to 30,000 naira in a month. Now, tell me why the people should not protest. I don't understand it. I cannot understand it. People are coming out to protest because they are fed up. They have had enough. They have had enough of this nonsense. If you don't agitate, your life will be that of misery and pain, poverty and deprivation forever and ever. People are saying no, they can no longer have it. Their children are having fun. They are abroad, everywhere. Your senators, your House of Reps, your governors, your House of Assembly members, all their families are well taken care of. They are having fun. So it is in their interest that Nigeria should be sustained. That is something that people must and need to understand this very morning going forward. That is why we are saying that this End SARS campaign must continue. It must continue. You cannot afford to lose this opportunity. You cannot afford to lose it. Once you lose it, you're finished. Nigeria is a terrorist state. How do you intend to end it? If they ask you to go back home and you go back home and you sit down after end of SARS, you will come out in the next 4 or 5 years after your children must have been killed to campaign for end SWAT. After that must have ended. Are you going to campaign separately for end Boko Haram? Are you going to campaign separately for end Miyetti Allah? Are you going to campaign separately for end Ansaru? Are you going to campaign separately for end ISIS in West Africa? What are you going to campaign? Are you then going to campaign separately for NEPA to give you light? Are you going to campaign for bridges and roads to be built? No. You amalgamate all these needs into one. That is what is happening right now. You come out on the streets and you remain on the street because posterity and history is on your side. And at the end of the process, all your demands will be met because power does indeed belong to the people. That is something we must understand. That is something we must appreciate. And that is why this very morning, later on today, and also this evening, I promised them, for disrupting our broadcast yesterday, I'm going to broadcast this morning, I'll broadcast this evening, tomorrow morning, I'll still do the question and answer. Very, very important, please. If they shut down the internet, then they will now see what is the proper revolution. Because when Britain was doing what they were doing, their intention is to enslave you. That was the clip we played last, that was on Sunday. We played that very clip. Their intention is to enslave you forever and ever. And being in one Nigeria is a cage designed to enslave you. And I'm very, very happy today that people's eyes are beginning to open. And I want to tell every protest group, wherever you are and you see, these are the same politicians telling you, oh, we will agree to your demand. These are vampires. You don't know who they are. It is in their interest that one Nigeria is sustained. That is where they feed from. Some of you don't understand. It's a very simple logic. When you have a politician going to bribe thugs to disrupt what will make the lives of the people, of everybody better, then you know what their true motives are. You will now be able to understand their mindset. You will now be able to appreciate the fact that these people are evil. That is what we are saying on a daily basis. It is in their interest to sustain the One Nigeria project. All of them from different tribes, I'm telling you the truth. It is in their interest that one Nigeria is sustained. And we are saying no to it because the more you sustain what should not be sustained, the more your life is being made a misery. That was why Britain put you together in the first place. As you're busy fighting one another, they are busy taking away your resources. It's a very simple, clean way to do it. Once you get two black people fighting, as they have always done to us all the time, oh, it is Izone against Igbo. You are not Biafra, you are Biafra. Oh, you are not. You are from the east. You are from the south. You are from the south. You are from Bendel. Once you allow them to succeed in planting the seeds of division, they will keep taking away your resources. That is why they can take our oil and gas and tell us it belongs to Nigeria. But gold in Zamfara belongs to Zamfara State. What is more valuable in this life than gold? Nothing. It is the most precious metal. In fact, the most precious mineral. But you are telling me that the oil and gas in Biafra land belongs to Nigeria. Why did they succeed? Because they succeeded in telling an Efik man, you're different from Ibibi. Ibibi, you're different from Anang. Anang, you're different from Igbo. Igbo, you're different from Ison. Oh, even Ikure that is Igbo is no longer Igbo. Even Anyama that is Igbo is no longer Igbo. Ebanke, you're not Igbo. Ikorobigoro, you're not Igbo. As we are busy discussing all this nonsense, fighting amongst ourselves, they are busy taking our oil and our gas. A very simple rules, a very simple ploy. But in Zamfara, their gold belongs to them. That is the reason why people must be on the streets. If you lose this opportunity, you are finished. If you abandon it and you go back home, you are finished. You are finished. Your life will be a misery. Some of them now that claim they are the leaders of this, nobody is the leader of this revolution. It is spontaneous. Nobody is the leader. Anybody who comes out now to claim their leader is looking for money, is looking for a way that he can get his own share of the national cake, and they will go back home and they will sit down. They will send their kids abroad. You will see them writing and talking rubbish on the pages of newspapers. They will appear on channels television and they claim they are leaders. After all, we are the ones who did the End SARS campaign. Did it achieve anything? The answer is no. Because once you rename SARS to SWAT or whatever nonsense that it is the same group of people. If they can bring out terrorists who have been killing and bombing, maiming, raping, and abducting people and add them into the army, what is it that SARS did that they cannot just simply move them from SARS to SWAT? Common sense. Simple common sense. That is why people must remain on the streets until this whole nonsense is over, until they accede to the demands of the people, and the killings are continuing. They have killed people, it did not work, they now send their thugs. That is what they normally do. And these are black people. What they will now do is to push the narrative. Oh, can't you see, it is not every Nigerian youth that is against SARS. Can't you see that the protesters are being attacked? And you will have some idiots. That is why I keep saying there is something wrong with the brain of a black man. You will see some idiots, some stupid black people, they will stand up and they will say, oh no, it is time to go home. Have they not acceded to your demands? That is the way they behave. That is why they are black. That is why they are backwards. That is why people refer to them as a baboon. That is why people see black people as a set of human beings who cannot reason properly. You move SARS to SWAT, and then you have solved the problem. Are you not stupid? Are you not foolish? You have now come out on the streets. They have killed 10 people according to Amnesty International. 10 people shot dead. So the reason why they lost their lives is so that whoever claims he or she is the leader of the movement can go and have meeting with Dangote, can go and have meeting with governors and collect money and come back and be talking rubbish. Are you telling me that is the reason why those people died? The one that died in Obomosho, are you telling me that is why the young man died? He died because for you to go and collect money and put in your pocket and say, oh no, it is now time to end this very protest. How stupid can you be? People have died, people are still going to die. That is how revolutions work. But you must remain on the streets. Once you stop, you are finished. If you are attacked by the police, you attack them back. I saw some soldiers, I saw videos and pictures of some soldiers who have now come to their senses, celebrating, or should I say, in camaraderie with the protesters. That is what we need to see. We need to see more of that. The soldiers must understand that the people are fighting for them. The police people must also understand that those who are protesting for better salary for them. They are protesting for better conditions of service for them. They are protesting for better standards of living for them as well. In other words, people must come together to show the corrupt minority, that they do not own our lives. They don't own it. That is something you must understand. They do not own it and can never ever own it. That is why this program this morning is very, very important, absolutely crucial, that it gets to the end of the world. That for the world to understand that this spontaneous revolution, of course I agree that Nigerians were afraid, or some of them were afraid to use the word revolution now, to come out to revolt. They couldn't understand it. Britain will not accept it. After all, BBC is even writing about the end SARS. If you're writing about ending SARS, ending police, ending army brutality, they may support you. But when you talk about the real issue, which is how Nigeria was formed, they will come against you. You will hear, you will observe radio silence. There will be media clampdown. There will be censorship. They will refuse to report the truth. That is the way they are, because you are affecting their business interests. If it is SARS, army, or whatever, they can agree with you. But in Britain, what I said to them is that in Britain, before you became who you are, Oliver Cromwell led a revolution against a corrupt monarchy, the monarchy of King Charles I. That is why Britain became, that was the reason why Britain became great. The reason why France became great was because the people had, they had enough, and they said enough is enough. The same thing that is happening today. In other words, if you want a better society for yourself and your children, what is happening now with End SARS protest must continue. It must continue. Every part of the world went through it. Every civilized part of the world went through it. You must go through the same thing. Before you graduate, you must spend 3 or 4 years at a university. You must write your project at the end of it. What Nigerian young people are doing today is writing their own project. They want to graduate from being a bunch of wild animals in Africa into people that have sense. And this very revolution that is ongoing will give that to them. It will give that to them. That is something you must understand. This is a live presentation, please, on this very Thursday morning. The time now is approximately 17 minutes to 9 a.m. in the morning in the blessed land of Biafra. It is a live and direct program to the entirety of humanity. We are not stopping because we are unstoppable. The revolution now started and stopped because people couldn't understand it. Their brain could not comprehend it, but now they understand the brutality of SARS. Somebody can quite readily and easily relate to it that SARS are a very horrible bunch, very horrible set of people. Very, very horrible. That was why politicians, the same politicians, you say, don't attack SARS protesters. I have told the police not to attack them. They go behind your back and organize their thugs to attack you. APC will go behind your back and tell that useless tramp, that prostitute Loreto Noche, to go and organize, pay 1,500. And you're telling me you want to be in a country with people that reason that way. When we were talking before, people say, oh, you insult black people a lot. Every time you insult black people. And I keep saying to them, can you see somebody collecting 1,500 naira? 1,500 naira, $3 to go and disrupt the future of his children. And you're telling me that such people are human beings. Now you understand why we speak the way we do, why we do things the way we do it, and why we must not only end SARS, but end impunity and end corruption. We must end the impunity and corruption, because if you say end Nigeria now, Britain will simply tell BBC, stop reporting that very news. They will tell all their friends everywhere, this fight now, you know, it has now gone from A to B. We don't want that anymore. The interest, or should I say, the survival of our business, which is Nigeria, because to Britain, Nigeria is just simple business. That's what it is. It's just a business, it's a company to them. So the interest of our company is being threatened. And once that happens, we will lose millions upon millions, or should I say billions of dollars, and we don't want that. They will ask them to stop reporting it. They will ask them to cease every reportage and to make sure that they keep Nigeria as one, as that very corrupt Obama did. And by the way, Obama is in very serious trouble. I will analyze the news for you on Sunday. Obama is a very corrupt criminal. He is. The reports are now coming out. I will analyze that very report on Sunday. We are live and we are direct, and very shortly, as I did promise you, our lines are going to open. I'm going to truncate this program this morning and just skim through it very, very speedily so that I can open the lines for the whole world to voice their opinion, their anger, their frustration, and above all, support for what is happening on the ground in the damnable zoological republic. Only 1,500 naira to disrupt a peaceful protest, and people accepted it. That is the zoo for you. Now, what you hear is Bloomberg, BBC will say, oh, but there are some youths who support SARS, and mind you, the integrity of Nigeria should be sustained. I saw the tweet from United Nations, exactly what we've been saying. Those are the criminals telling you that Nigeria should be kept as one because of what they're getting from it, because of the looting that is going on, because they are partakers in the process of the loot coming out of the zoo. They are not concerned about the well-being of the people. What they are concerned about is keeping Nigeria one. Go and check their Twitter. You see they are worried about stability. What stupid stability? People are dying. When England carried out a revolution, Cromwell's revolution against King Charles I, did anybody care about stabilization in Europe? When French people were revolting against nepotism, against a suffocating royal regime, or should I say, a suffocating monarchy, did anybody complain and talk about stability? When Russia rose up in 1917 to fight the Tsars for ordinary people to rise up and take control of their lives, did anybody talk about the regional stabilization? When Yugoslavia broke up, did anybody talk about stabilization? Why is that when it comes to Nigeria, all this nonsensical garbage about stabilization will begin to come out? People must remain on the streets. They have to be there. People must be there on the streets until this whole nonsense, this whole zoological republic comes to an end. We know that the BBC will not report, because BBC, you can hear them very well. That is what they do, and they do it perfectly well. The young Nigerians who forced the president to back down. Which president backed down? BBC is trying to promote the fact that Yusuf Mohammed Abubakar is the president. That it is in their interest to do it. Why are you saying that they have backed down from what? Moving from SARS to SWAT. The same people recruiting. Now people must intensify this very protest to focus on the fact that the Nigerian government, they are busy recruiting terrorists into the army and into the police. Into the army and into the police. Can you believe such nonsense? That is the reason why they kill people without any remorse, because they are these people they say, oh, come to Abuja for the orientation. The same way they reoriented Boko Haram fighters and now integrated them into the army and into the police. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to justify? Can you see the way they reason? These are terrorists. How can you reorientate terrorists? How is that possible? You put them into the police, into SARS, and now see what they're doing. They are killing people left, right, and center. And that is why BBC's coverage of this very incident, from the perspective that that Yusuf Abubakar actually changed his mind, is absolute bunkum, absolute rubbish. They've not done anything. Moving SARS to SWAT is rubbish. It doesn't mean anything at all. It doesn't mean anything at all. What we are talking about is that the root cause of all these myriad of problems is Nigeria itself, and something must be done about Nigeria. Something must be done about Nigeria. IGP sets up new special weapons and tactics unit, SWAT. They never have anything of their own. They always copy. You know, black man always copying. SWAT in America. Is an insult. And we were doing our research yesterday, and we understand that SWAT is actually trademarked. It's a trademark. SWAT, Special Weapons and Tactics, is a trademark. A registered trademark. So the IGP, somebody should tell the Fulani Inspector General of Police in the zoo that SWAT is actually copyrighted. They cannot use the name. That's how foolish they are. No research. They just wake up in the morning. They can copy whatever name they like. Because a white man has done it and is working. Where you have SWAT in America, people are civilized. People are learned. People have common sense. You don't have thugs. Politicians do not have thugs who will come out on the streets to disrupt peaceful protests. In America, that you are trying to copy their SWAT, their special weapons and tactics are trained to remain inside the barracks or inside the station. Only when there is an armed robbery, only when there is a high incident of that magnitude where public safety is threatened, will SWAT team be mobilized. And once they are mobilized, they go to the scene of the crime, they finish, they go back to their barracks, and they drop their weapons and their civilians the next day. You are talking about special weapons and tactics. The idiot doesn't even know that it was copyrighted. You cannot just use it. But they have used it in the zoo. And I'm sure that somebody is going to sue them to court in America. Mad people everywhere. You're forming special weapons and tactics. And the funniest thing is, as I reported on my page, the funniest thing is that they have this SWAT team already. It is already existing. They have it because on September the 3rd of 2019, that was last year, September the 3rd of last year, over a year ago, the federal government to deploy, this is the headline from a Janjaweed, the Fulani online newspaper, Premium Times, insecurity, federal government to deploy vehicles, SWAT team to Southwest. So this SWAT team is already existing. And who are the people in it? The same useless Fulani terrorists, Janjaweed. They are the ones who are there killing people. They are in the SWAT team. So SWAT team is already existing. They cannot lie. It is there on my page. September the 3rd of 2019, it was a headline on Premium Times, a Fulani newspaper, a Fulani online newspaper. So they have SWAT already. This is the same people that BBC are telling us that Nigeria's president accede to the demands of the youth, accede to their demands, but SWAT team is already existing. There is a SWAT team already existing within Nigeria's police force. So they just move them. That's what they do. Once they mess up, Fulani Janjaweed, once they mess up, they just change the name of the organization. That's what they do. They think everything will be okay. Just like some stupid African countries, when they are running hyperinflation economies, they think that by changing the currency, they can solve the problem. After 2, 3, 4, 5 years, the same problem comes back again to haunt them. Because they don't understand, they don't learn. As I kept saying, as I was saying earlier today, these are the people that the white man gave everything today. When they were going to school, some of these your so-called elders, when they were going to school, every Sunday they will have one whole chicken at University of Nigeria and Suka UNN. They didn't pay any school fees, no tuition fee, nothing. No boarding fees, nothing. They will eat one whole chicken, one person to one chicken every Sunday. Go and ask those that went to the so-called federal universities. The white man gave them everything. When they graduated, they had a job. When it is now their turn to provide the same chicken that they had at the university, to provide the same employment that the white man gave to them, they are now calling you a lazy youth, saying you are doing yahoo, insulting you every day. When you talk, they will unleash police and army on you to go and kill you. These are the same people that had everything from the white man. The white man did their job, provided for them. When it is now their turn to provide for us, they have said, no, we are not going to provide anything for you. Go and do it yourself. Was that the same thing the white man did to you when the white man was there? These are the idiots calling themselves elders, a sociocultural group. When you are an abject failure, for nearly 60 years, you cannot supply electricity for up to 4 hours in a day. You cannot do it. For nearly 60 years, there are no schools being built. For nearly 60 years, no good roads, absolutely nothing. The only infrastructure they engage themselves in are those infrastructure that will give them kickbacks and handbacks so they can become instant billionaires. And they'll come out the next day and tell you, oh, I've been fighting for you. And you foolishly believe them because you're a numpty, because you're a fool. BBC will not tell you that the youth, they are saying they have now won the argument. The same new unit they are creating has been in existence. How deceptive can these people be? How horrible can this be? The same SWAT team you're talking about has been in existence because it is here. Federal government to deploy vehicles, SWAT team to South, SWAT, S-W-A-T, SWAT team, they want to copy America, they want to be like America. Look at a bunch of monkeys. They want to be like civilized people. Now you understand it, their deception. They have agreed to all your demands. All your demands. They have agreed to rename Nigerian prisons to correctional institution. Has it changed the conditions in the prisons? Are people being properly fed? Are they being properly taken care of? The answer is no. You can change the name from Nigeria Prison Service to Nigeria Correctional Institution. It is still the same thing, the same rubbish that they're doing now. They did not start today. Once something fails, all they need to do is to just change the name. They eat money and they change the name and all is good because they actually think that all of you are stupid. But now we are proving to them that we are not, that we have our senses intact. People do not know how horrible SARS is. There is one man, we are going to find him, he's called James Nwafo. He is a beast of a human being. He was the former OC of SARS, the officer commanding SARS in Anambra State. He is now, Obiano is very good at appointing people who are killers. He's working with Miyetti Allah. He is also working with this James Nwafo. Responsible when you talk about organ harvesting. James Nwafo became a billionaire by selling the liver of victims of SARS cruelty, by selling their kidneys, their pancreas, by selling any vital organ inside their bodies. He's an Igbo man. He's from Ebonyi State. A very horrible human being. Do you know the funniest thing? After killing his people, Obiano appointed him as a senior special assistant. Now, there's somebody called Iloanya, a Miss Iloanya, Queen Iloanya is her name. She wrote something on July the 9th of 2020. He wrote from a personal experience. And I'm going to try as much as I can to read some of the things that she wrote down for the world to understand why people are on the streets and why they must continue to be on the streets. People don't understand the depth of the heinousness of the crimes being committed in Nigeria on a daily basis. I posted a video about a man being roasted alive by a Nigerian army. Facebook covered it. And said, and suppressed the post, of course, and said that people should not be able to watch this. That tells you all you need to know about these people. I'll continue to read this very piece from this woman called Queen Iloanya. The man you see on this post who is James Nwafo. He's a bloodthirsty murderer. But before I explain further, some introduction. His name is James Nwafo. He was a police officer. His highest rank before retirement was ASP. Currently, he is the senior special assistant to Willie Obiano, the Anambra State governor, on security. He's from Ebonyi State, a father, a grandfather, uncle, and brother. But that did not stop this James Nwafo from going into Okozo SARS in Anambra that must be destroyed. Okozo SARS, to be harvesting organs of his own people, to be selling to India. This very wicked. Some people are out of this world in terms of their, or should I say, the scale of their wickedness. This was the man that Obiano appointed as a security advisor, because the man has experience in killing and conducting surgery, just like Joseph Mengele in the Nazi concentration camps, operating on the Jews, and they will fry the Jews. They will use the fat from their body to do soap. They will cut off their hair and use it to do wig, and use it to stuff mattresses and pillows. The same thing that obtained in Nazi Germany was the same regime that James Nwafo brought to Anambra policing, to SARS. Because I heard somebody say, oh, let us get back to state policing. Is Nwafo a Fulani man? Is Nwafo a Yoruba man? Is Nwafo a Hausa man? He's an Igbo man, but he was busy killing people and harvesting their organs. So what we need is a root and branch overhaul of the entire system. And that means the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. This queen continued to write, this very young lady. My family's path collided with him on November 2012. When my brother was arrested at Ajali is in Anambra State, my family went to the police station at Ajali, and they said SARS or Kozo had taken him and arrested him with some other boys. So my parents went to SARS or Kozo. This man blatantly ever making any arrest or transfers, and assured my dad that the boy wasn't in their custody. That's what they do. They arrest you, there is no documentation. Once you're arrested, you're finished. So the idiots asking people to stop this end SARS campaign. When they arrest you, they don't document you, they kill you, they harvest your organs, and they sell it. There's something happened in Delta State. We're going to come to Delta State later on, to what Okowa is doing. Okowa is trying to play the good boy of the Fulani, the same rubbish that they always do. Every idiot that comes out, he becomes a governor. They think they have arrived. They can do as they like. They can serve Fulani Janjaweed. The same thing is happening in Delta State as I speak. The same thing that this family had to go through. People go through it every blessed day. They kidnap your children. That is why people must remain on the streets. Your daughters are taken, your sons are taken, their organs are harvested and sent to India. And when you're sick, you also go to India to go and do surgery. You don't know the liver in you or the kidney in you is that of a victim of police brutality in Nigeria. You don't know that. But now you know. When we went to the police station, my mother screamed and pointed at her son, telling this man, that is my son, that is my telling James Nwafo, who is now working for Obiano, these are a bunch of murderers, a collection of evil people. A bunch of murderers. The mother was screaming, saying, this is my son, this is my son. This same James Nwafo ordered that my parents should be pushed back. The next day my parents went back, and this man told them point blank that he had killed my brother, and that there is nothing that can be done about it. James Nwafo, he is still walking about alive this very day. He is in Anambra State, working for the governor of Anambra State. You can imagine these are the people that want to become president. These are the people that want you to Igbo presidency, whereas they are busy killing and harvesting the organs of their own children. These are the evil men that you have. Come and do presidency and die. You will see your death coming before your eyes. This man today is working for Anambra State government. James Nwafo is ASP James Nwafo. He was the one running Okozo SARS. I'm saying this is because of those calling for state policing. You are talking rubbish. We need a root and branch dismantling of this edifice of lies and cruelty, which is the damnable Zoological Republic. A man, he has children. James Nwafo has children. He has a wife, he has children, he has grandchildren. He is uncle to some people. He is brothers to some people, but he was busy killing other people's children in Anambra State and harvesting their organs. And told this very family of Iloanya from Ajali, Ojale is the name, actually, not Ajale, Ojale. And said to them, I have killed your son. There is nothing you can do about it. This is the depth of despair in Nigeria that some people are saying, it is enough. People are losing them. What business are you going to lose that is greater than the loss of life of a young man at the hands of this dreaded police squad in Okozo? P2B kept Okozo SARS. Obiano came and kept Okozo SARS. Because that is how they get rid of their political opponents. If they have issues with you, they go and they pick up your son or your daughter. They take he or she to SARS and they kill the person and they harvest the organs. In broad daylight, they tell you, I have killed your child. You cannot do anything about it. And when I talk about their own children, people start complaining. But they have children. They don't know that people can do the same thing to their own children. They have children. This is what I'm saying to Facebook. Do you understand what you are covering? By covering the zoo, by protecting the zoo, by banning people, by suppressing our posts, do you see the amount of evil you are helping to cover up? We don't hate anybody. I remember before we were preaching and they said you hate Yoruba. I say you're talking rubbish. I have relatives who are Yorubas. The same thing today that are peddling their myth that I hate Fulani. I hate Fulani Janjaweedism. I hate the Fulani Janjaweed. I can't hate you if you've not done anything to me, anything bad to me. Tell me why we must love these governors. Look at what they are doing. James Wafo, look at what he has done told the mother to her face, I have killed your son. I work for SARS Nigeria. You cannot do anything about it. And people are asking us to go back home. Very soon, the order is coming. Let us see if they can sustain it for 4 more weeks. Because once IPOB steps in, that's the end of the game. So we want to see if they can sustain it for at least up to 4 weeks. We know they're going to bribe them because if they know that IPOB is coming into the protest in a big way, they know that it's game over. So they will go and bribe those that they claim are the leaders. That's what they always do in the zoo. The best way to conduct a revolution is not to have a leader leading that very revolution. Spontaneous uprising, spontaneous, eruption of anger should not have any leadership. Because once you have a leader in the zoo, they go and bribe the people. They are not like IPOB, they are not like us. We are unbribable, we are unbuyable. But look at the idiots, you go and bribe them and they start talking nonsense. That is why the story of this very family is very moving this very morning, and we must read it. However, lots of people, including some SARS officers, said that he was bluffing and wanted us to bring money. That is what they do. Extortion is also part of their game. So we brought money, yet he refused to budge. We sold lands and took money in bags, yet he didn't budge. When we went to the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, as at then, this man's name is Bala Nasarawa, another Janjaweed from the north. He called Mr. James Wafo, and he claimed they had a shootout with armed robbers, and probably that my brother was one of them. The brother that the mother saw Korokoro with her live eyes and said, this is my son, you're holding my son, give me my son. A mother was crying, dying, rolling on the floor, begging everybody, including the governor of the state, including commissioner of police, saying, please give me my son, I can see my son, he's alive. James Wafo came and said that the boy died during a shootout with armed robbers. The same boy that the mother saw in police cell is now dead. His organ frozen and on the way to India. That is Nigeria for you. People don't understand what we are fighting. Facebook, let me tell Facebook in Lagos, there is no difference between a Facebook cooperative in Lagos and those people that accepted 1,500 naira to go and disrupt the protest. There is no difference between you two. All of you took money from the government to try to protect an evil regime. Evil regime. And I want to ask those working for Facebook, I want to ask those who are claiming they want one Nigeria. If you're a father or you're a mother, can you imagine going to a police station, seeing your child in police custody? The next day, the police will come and say that same child in their custody died during a shootout with the police. So the police opened the cell door, or the boy turned into a witch or a wizard and left the prison, left SARS detention center and went to commit armed robbery. With which gun? We ask. That is the reason why some of you must reason, especially those working for Facebook. I know that some black people don't have conscience. I know that some black people, they personify evil and the devil himself. But you must understand what you're doing. You must understand what your suppression is doing. You must understand that anytime you ban somebody for speaking the truth, you are encouraging SARS to kill the next innocent victim. Mr. Balana Sarawa obtained a report from James Wafo claiming that my brother died during a shootout with the police because my brother was an armed robber. The same brother that my mother saw inside the police cell. Then Mr. Balanasarawa looked at my parents in the eye and told them that there is nothing further he could do since Mr. James had denied ever arresting or detaining my brother. The same brother that I saw in the police station is now dead, killed at the hands of James Wafo, who is now working for Obiano, a gang of murderers. They get together, they decide to kill in the name of one Nigeria because they are getting something from it. The same thing that Kotma used to do when the white man was around, the same thing that Nwadishi used to do when they were around, when they appointed their warrant chiefs all over the place. The warrant chiefs was doing the bidding of the colonial masters against the traditions and the norms of his people. Very, very sad indeed. The same thing has continued. Or should I continue reading? Of course not. The same Okozo SARS, they have now transferred people from Okozo SARS to army barracks in Onitsha. They don't know we know all of this. They have now transferred them to army barracks in Onitsha. And I want people who will always support Obiano to come out and tell us the reason why Obiano will employ somebody who blatantly is murdering and harvesting organs of people as his senior. Special assistant on security or advisor on security, senior special advisor on security. Do you understand our anger? It's not that we hate anybody, but when you understand, should I say, the catalog of crimes committed by these people, when you understand their insensitivity, when you come to the full realization that they are not working for your interest, you will have no other choice than to develop a measure of hatred towards these people because they are evil. They are evil. How can you employ somebody who is involved in the killing of innocent people as a governor? You claim you are the governor of a state. You employ somebody who is a blatant murderer. How would you feel if any of your children were living? That is one thing about white people. That is how they reason. Before a white person does anything, they will put themselves in the shoes of that person and say, how come, or how about if this were to be my child? How would I feel? They put themselves in the position of the parents of this young man who have been murdered and the organs sent to India since 2012. Very, very sad indeed, isn't it? These are the things that the world must understand and come to the realization that the zoo must come to an end. This is something that those working for Facebook must understand. You know, in the scheme of things, governments will always bribe, they will always pay people, they will always cajole people, they will always blackmail people into doing their bidding. But look at that thing they're asking you to do. Calculate the consequences of that thing they're asking you to do. And weigh it and ask yourself, how about if it were to be my child that has been arrested by SARS, killed and the organs harvested and sent to India, how would I feel? That is the monster that people are confronting on the streets. That is why coming back or stopping this very protest it will set you back very many years. End SARS protest, as we said. Secret meetings of governors, billionaires, and 7 people spark outrage. People are quite rightly angry. People who are now coming and claiming, oh, I started it. I tweeted End SARS. It is the beginning. It is me and one of my friends, Oluwole, who started it. Because of that, they must call us to a meeting, and they have called them to a meeting. And now, listen very carefully, please. That's the thing about black people. Shake money in front of them. They abandon their principles. They abandon the objectivity. They abandon everything. They abandon common sense in the process. Now, listen. NSAS protesters are condemning the secret meeting of few Nigerians held with some governors and some tycoons. That's how they begin. The zoo. That was what they thought in the beginning. They will sell what they're doing. Nnamdi Kanu is going to sell. He wants to become famous. He wants to be popular. He wants money. When, after many years, they realized that we are not like them, they now started to come up with other nonsense. I want the world to understand this. Once you're doing something nice, something altruistic, once you are fighting and trying to save your people, some of them will say no, that it is not possible because they cannot do it. Because a black man cannot do something that will not benefit him directly. So they project that very thinking and image onto anybody they see who is fighting legitimately for the betterment of the people. And that is what we are doing. That is what those young men and women are doing on the streets. That is what those fathers and mothers are doing on the street, protesting for the end of SARS, because they want to see the betterment of everybody, not just themselves. That zoo being what it is. They have called some people to a secret meeting, and those who are protesting are saying no. Now listen very carefully. The virtual meeting was held on Monday night. It lasted for nearly 3 hours. In attendance were governors Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Every idiot who becomes governor wants to be president. So you cannot be the president of Oduduwa, or president of Biafra, or president of Kwarafa, or president of maybe Kanem Brono Republic. No, they want to be president of Nigeria. Every idiot wants to be president. So I wouldn't say so therefore because it's wrong. Therefore, the maintenance of one Nigeria is of importance to every governor because they are hoping to be president one day. Are you following me? Do you understand the reason why Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, who is pretending that he is a man of the people, Dr. Abiodun of Ogun State, Ifan Yokowa of Delta, and Abdul Rahman, Abdul Razak are the governors that want to keep Nigeria? They need to end this as quickly into some. So this protest may be protest all Arabs, Black Lives Matter. Nobody hijacked it. It's only Lizzie. It will be hijacked. It will be hijacked. Don't allow hoodlums to hijack it. But let me also tell the police and the that very soon IPOB is coming. If you fire one shot, every police station within 10 miles radius of that place will be destroyed and every life in it lost. You people are mad. Unless the young people show these criminals that they are angry, they will never leave you alone. There will be something else to replace SARS. The killings will continue. The checkpoints will continue. The harassment will continue. Give me your phone will continue. Open your, empty your pockets will continue. Now is this time to stop it. You don't go back. Because people have died, you don't go back. You must continue. You must continue what you're doing. And I'm very glad that they did us a favor this very morning, of course, because they shut down our broadcast last night. This morning, the whole world is listening to what we are saying. This morning, people are preparing to go and protest. And you must protest. It is your right to do so. You must protest. You must protest. Do you know that the screenshots of this get-together with some rats and millionaires leaked on social media? Now, the respondents insisted that protesters have no leaders, and that is what I said earlier. You don't, in a mass revolution, leaders emerge from it. You don't have any leader to start with. Leaders emerge as a result of the activities of the protagonists. Now they are claiming we are the leaders. Or who told you that? People are angry and they quite rightly came out on the streets. to protest and to demonstrate, and you're claiming you are the leader and you criminals everywhere. That is what the zoo have done to them. They go to university, they do cultism, and they come out. Any opportunity they see, they want to hijack. Any little thing they see, they want to take, and they want to take glory. They want to hijack it and to make money from it. Not to hijack it to be of any use for the wider cause, but to make money out of it. Trouble started after Digbo Awojide. He's in London, protesting in London, announced on Tuesday that he and others were in a meeting. Awojide disclosed that 7 of them met with some leaders of the private sector. Just imagine. Please, somebody should translate that in English for me. Beans, you know the beans they used to do akara. The beans has not even soaked. They've not removed the skin of the beans to grind it. Yet akara is already smelling. Just that somebody came out, something that we have all done in the past, to lead a protest, a mass movement, a protest in London. He was called immediately. Governors are calling you, millionaires are calling you, and he abandoned everything he's doing. He went to go and have a meeting with governors, hoping that money will come out of it. That is how they behave. That is how a black man behaves. Oh, throughout all the Black Lives Matter campaign in America, did you hear about anybody having meeting with Trump and Bill Gates and Elon Musk and Warren Buffett in order to stop it? He's only a black man. Only in Africa. Only a black man. He led a protest for 30 minutes. He was in a meeting for 3 hours negotiating for money. Negotiating for money. They have not started though. This one, a blender. They have started frying akara immediately. That is who they are. Now, let me tell you what they said. They pleaded with us. This is according to the person who claims is London organizer. They pleaded with us either to stop the protest or to protest peacefully. They promised to move mountains. And act to them. To move mountains means if it's money we give you, anything you want we give you. Okowa wants Nigeria to continue. He's the governor of Delta State. All the state allocation security budget is going into his pocket. His children are abroad. Everybody's living large in the Okowa family. All these governors, everybody, they want Nigeria to be one because they are benefiting. Their family is benefiting from it. Some of you don't understand this, but we are here to make it very clear to all of you, that you may appreciate the enormity of the task ahead of you. They gathered together. Very, very sad indeed. Only in the damnable zoological republic. That was why I issued a statement published by every major newspaper in the damnable zoological republic, asking them not to compromise. Vanguard carried it. A lot of them carried it. Don't compromise. I probably the kind of tells you must not compromise. Forget all those idiots. In Biafra, we had it. People saying that Biafra this, Biafra that. They gave them money. They started building hotels, and they forgot about the movement. Once every 8 months, Mustafa will prod the idiot to come out and say something to confuse the gullible that is still interested in the fight to restore Biafra. When it is a lie, he's busy building hotels. The mountain is in front, and he's resting. And I asked them, why are you building hotels? A hotel in Nigeria. Imagine what I do with hotel. If you claim you love your people should also love you. Anything you want, they will do. If you want money, if you want to be chewing gold and diamond every day, Biafrans will give it to you. Go and get them Biafra first. The idiot is busy building hotels. And a human being will rise up and say that this is a freedom fighter. A hotelier building hostels and hotels. That means you don't believe in what you're fighting for. The same thing is happening in the zoo, and that was why I warned them. You must not allow this mentality to creep into your head. I'm going to play something for you. One of them appeared on Kakaki on AIT, talking rubbish. Hear what this young man has to say, and you understand that a black man has a problem. Consistency is their problem. They are never consistent. Before you come out to lead the people, you must give your life to God Almighty in heaven. Listen, please. These are the so-called revolution people. Look at the idiot. Listen, please. Listen.
Things there, but the extract of the 5 that the public, brought out was also considered that, look, this is what the public has released outside what the NSAS Reform Police NG advocacy has sent to the government. we want you to adopt all these things without questions. And the idea adopted. And yesterday, it was confirmed that the presidency adopted every single thing as demanded. So this has been done. Protests are still on. And there are elements that are saying people must remain outside regardless. I do not have a problem with the antitrust thing. Government have failed us several times. I am not an amoral gripe of the president or of the political party, ruling party today.
Listen.
I have been criticizing them. But I also must understand that we must draw the line somewhere. There are people whose businesses are collapsing.
Are you hearing? This typical black man, his name is, I'll get it, is Awosanya, whatever his name is. He's typical black man, black. We must draw the line somewhere. Are you drawing the line? Have you gotten to the finish line? You're running a 100-meter race. After running for 20 meters, you now draw the line and end it yourself. Whereas the end line of 100 meters is nearly 8 meters away. Do you see how they reason? It was because of people like this that I issued the statement that protesters must continue. You don't have any leader. That is the only leader you have is those list of demands that you have made, and they must be met. And the idiot opened his mouth and said, there are antitrust issues with, you know that the government is not reliable, you know that they cannot be trusted, they have ended SARS 4 times in the past. You also know that the SWAT team that they claim they are going to form is already in existence. Already. Yet you want people to stop protesting. Do you see? He's one of those now that had meeting with millionaires. Now he's smiling. He's now a good Nigerian. We need to consider businesses. But before you claim you started the protest, did you not know that the businesses of people were going to suffer? When during COVID-19 you were locked down for nearly 2 months, you did not die. Only protest of 1 week and you're complaining. This Yoji, black people. This is the reason why I castigate black people. No consistency, no honesty in some of them. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. Let me play it for you to listen, and then I'll give you his full name. Listen, please.
There's things, headlines that need not be, as far as I'm concerned, associated with the NSAS Republic's NG advocacy, which stands to bridge institutional gap and not to become the demon or the devil that they are criticizing or they are standing against. We must not harden the life of Nigeria or worsen the situation of Nigerians because of our grievances. Imagine this as
I listen to this idiot.
There are some people who feel that the scrap of SARS is an injustice. They gather themselves together and start blocking roads as well. They have their right to protest, they have their right to gather, and then there is certainly going to be a security issue where there will be clashes and where there will be violence. What do you expect police to do? Stand?
From being anti-police, he is now campaigning for police to intervene. In case there are people who are pro-SARS coming and attacking people who are anti-SARS, can Chineke mean the black man? Sometimes they say I have issues with trusting people. I trust people, but I do know that they are not made or designed the way that we were. We are made differently. We are designed differently. Do you see the way he was in let me get the idiot's name. Let me get the fool's name. I want to get this idiot's name. Hi, Chineke and this Yoji, black people. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He was on the front line for only 30 minutes. He was in a meeting with billionaires for 3 hours. After leaving the meeting, he is now talking. Let us not allow our grievances to go. His name is Shegun Awosanya. Shegun Awosanya. Shegun Awosanya. These are the charlatans opportunity, just waiting and waiting and waiting, because you sent out a tweet and the tweet had End SARS on it, and now End SARS is trending all over the world. You think it now belongs to you. You've now gone into a meeting with your governors and so-called billionaires. They have given you money, and look at the rubbish coming out of your mouth. Democracy is a game of numbers. If you have 10 million people who are protesting to end SARS, and there are 500 people who are hired thugs of APC, given 1,500 naira to come and stone them, and you're telling them they have right as well. If you have right as well, go somewhere else. Those who were protesting in Abuja were at the beggar roundabout. Those protesting, those who claim they are pro-SARS, could have gone to Ashokoro, go to Asorok and stay somewhere else. But I know why they brought them. They brought out all these anti-SARS people or anti-end SARS people in order to stop people from marching to Asorok and demanding to see Yusuf Mohammed Abubakar face to face. That was why they brought them out. But by the way, they are in the minority, a very insignificant minority. That is the zoo for you. This young man, Awosanya, knows very well that the same way they changed the name from NEPA to PCHN, it has not stopped the darkness from enveloping the zoo every night. Changing SARS to SWAT will mean nothing. But he doesn't understand it. But he's educated though. He's a learned man. He's an intellectual. He opened his mouth and said there are trust issues with Nigerian government. The same idiot saying there are trust issues opened his mouth again to say the other people protesting to keep SARS, they also have their rights too. When Marie Antoinette and Louis XIV, King Louis XIV was overthrown in France, there were those who were pro-monarchy. When the Romanov family was kicked out of Russia and killed, in fact they were killed, the Romanovs, the Tsar, there were people who were pro the Tsar. When George Washington led a revolution in America that kicked out the British, there were those who were sympathetic to Britain. They wanted colonization of America to continue. Even when Nelson Mandela was fighting to end apartheid, Mangosuthu Buthelezi, more like Eshi speak in our language, was siding the apartheid white regime. The Inkatha Freedom Party was fighting ANC. For those of you who don't know history, who is talking about the pig in the creek, that dirty pig who can no longer breathe properly. You cannot all be together. There are those who will work for the oppressor. Mangosuthu Buthelezi was working against Mandela. He asked Inkatha Freedom Party members to attack ANC rallies. For some of you who don't know history, I am teaching you history. Did it stop South Africa from ending apartheid? Did it stop Mandela in what he was doing? That is something that this idiot needs to understand. He needs to go back to school or listen to Radio Biafra more often. His life will no longer be the same. He will change as well. He will acquire some modicum of common sense and be able to apply reason and logic in all his discourses. Federal government released link 75 billion naira. Listen carefully. They want to buy them over. You know what they did yesterday? You know, I want to let this boy and any other idiot out there who is telling people stop. I want to tell you how deceptive Nigeria is. I want to tell you how awful, how devilish Fulani Janjaweed is. This is something you must place in your brain this very morning. Now listen very carefully. This is yesterday. The federal government has given out a link for Nigerian youth to access funds for investment. They want to bribe them now. The investment fund was launched in August. Support innovative Nigerian youths who are not above 35 years of age. And how much is the money that they have? It runs into billions upon billions, 75 billion naira. As a Nigerian youth, you can now apply. It was released yesterday. Who released it? That prostitute Loretta Nochie, from holding of mobile phone. She's a media aide, which means you hold mobile phone for people. You arrange girls for them. Maybe those you sold into prostitution in Italy. You bring them back to come and be servicing Asorok. She was the one that tweeted it yesterday. Application for Nigerian Youth Investment Fund begins because they know as a Nigerian youth, they have so much humiliated you and insulted you. They know that if they sprinkle 1,000 naira in front of you, that you will abandon your protest and go and start applying. Because what they want to do is, if you apply for this investment fund for youths, you of course you have to leave the protest to go and apply for it at a nearby cyber cafe. Do you see how that is? I told you before they came out with these schemes, they will try to buy you over. They will try to buy your conscience. They will try to buy your resilience. You must ignore all of that because history beckons. History is calling your name. All of you out on the streets protesting, history is going to remember you. When the history of the zoo will be written in 50 years to come, your name will be there. If you go and accept what these fools are offering you, 1,500, nobody will remember you. They claim they released this money yesterday. Loretta Onochie tweeted it yesterday. Go to her tweets, you will see it. She tweeted it yesterday. But do you know the funniest thing? They did the same trick in July of 2020. We are now in October. The same thing is asking you to go and do. I want everybody who is in support of this Janjaweed regime in the zoo to appreciate what I'm saying this very morning, because the time now is 9:31 a.m. in the morning in Biafra land, 29 minutes to 10 a.m. in the morning in the holy land of Biafra. We are live and we are direct. Listen carefully, please. Listen to me. This same investment fund that has Oracle released yesterday has been in existence already. There's something with SWAT. How can anybody trust this type of... These people are so dishonest. They are dishonest. They are dishonest. They want to buy you over. They did not tell you that this investment fund has been existing before. Please, somebody post it on my page. Nigerian Youth Investment Fund, federal government cash transfer, NYIF loan of 75 billion to credit microfinance when 22nd of July 2020. 22nd of July 2020 is, they released it then. They have shared all the money, but Loretta Onochie is releasing another link yesterday to lure you away from protest. So you will say there is money. You see how they regard you. So you see how they think. You see how foolish they think you are. They think that because your brothers have been killed, your sisters killed, SARS tormenting you every blessed day, stealing your cars and stealing your phone, harvesting your organs. Now they think that only 2,000 naira can pay for all of that pain and suffering. They can buy you over with only 2,000 naira. That was why they released the link yesterday. And I want it to be published. Can somebody please publish it? Federal government releases link. Apply for 75 billion naira is a youth investment fund. It was carried yesterday by a zoo online newspaper. Legit, it is there. I want it published on my page. The screenshot, please, because if you post the link, Facebook will suppress it. There is also another one. Nigerian Youth Investment Fund, cash transfer. When was that? 22nd of July. The same thing they announced in July, they are announcing again because people are protesting, young people are protesting, they want to buy you over. You see, they don't have respect for you. Can you now see that they are not sincere in what they are saying? Can you now understand? Can you now begin to appreciate the enormity of the task before you people and why you must remain out on the street to ensure that SARS really comes to an end? Vanguard also carried the news yesterday that they have now ended SARS. Adamsat launches emergency fund with $10,000 to support youth. This is another man who is now launching emergency fund to support youth. His name is, what is this man's name again? Adam Start is the name of the charity. A global UK-based non-profit, Adam Start, on Tuesday launched an emergency fund with $10,000 to support young people in Nigeria following demands for the proscription of the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Unit. Now, this is a UK-based organization. Britain is doing their own from the UK. Asorok is doing their own in the zoo. Millionaires and governors are doing their own because they understand one thing about Nigeria, that once you talk about money, people abandon their conscience. People no longer reason properly. That is why they have gone for this global coordinated, I wouldn't call it an attack, slush funds everywhere to buy over people. To buy over people. Now listen very carefully, please. A global UK-based or UK. Now I'm asking this Adam Start, what has 10,000 support for young people in Nigeria got to do with the demand they're making? When people were demanding that Black Lives Matter, did you pay money? Did you launch any scheme to support Black, or should I say African Americans, the young ones in America? What is all this nonsense? What is all this rubbish? What has money got to do with asking that SARS should be shut down? If you did we tell the youths who are protesting, because I'm no longer a youth anyway, I'm 53 years old, I'm an old man. If the young people who are protesting, did they tell you that they want money, that if you give them money, then they will stop, that what they're doing is somehow, or are you trying to let the world understand that the reason why federal SARS is being so brutal towards young people in Nigeria is because of lack of money? And it doesn't make sense. It is illogical. But I will continue. This was disclosed by Adam Bradford. He is the CEO of Adam Start. This is how they condition the brain of black people not to be able to discern or think properly. People are agitating to end SARS. They are protesting to end SARS. And you're launching a money scheme what has money got to do with ending SARS? I just want to understand that. Now, do you appreciate where we are coming from? These people are not as intelligent as they claim they are. He sent a tweet saying one of Her Majesty's young leaders and fellow of the Commonwealth Society, Adam Start, has today made money available to help young people. What for? Did young people tell you they need money to end SARS? No, they need to demonstrate to end SARS. Because if you give them that money, the same SARS will stop at the next junction and take it from them and kill them in the process and harvest their organ in the process. They think we are stupid. They think you are black because you are black. Once they launch you, UK government is that woman that is doing this. They say, oh, they have sat down and strategized in Abuja. This goes to confirm that Britain has a hand in what is happening in the zoo. I'm telling you the truth. Britain runs Nigeria. I'm telling you the truth. That they held a meeting in Abuja. They said, you know, an average Nigerian nigger needs money. They are very hungry. So why don't we flash them money? Now they coordinated the attack. Presidency, you will relaunch the 75 billion naira youth fund. Millionaires and governors, including Okowa, you people call the leaders of the protest and offer them money, and you in the UK government launch this Adam Start, tell them that Nigerian youths, they need money. A well-coordinated attack. But we are here. That was why they didn't want us to preach last night. Because they understand that we know their game, we know the game they are playing. They want to buy you over with 2,000 naira. Now, you're claiming there are no SARS on the road anymore, but army checkpoint is there, police checkpoint is there. They give you the Adam Start money, you apply for loan and they give it to you with the youth fund and all that. You go to the next checkpoint and they will take the money from you and put it in their pocket. If you talk, they will shoot you and you will die. They will say, after all, you have collected money. That is the same principle behind election rigging. When a politician brings his bags of rice and bread and all the rest of it and you take it from him, he now has the right to go and rig elections and you do nothing about it because you've sold your conscience. You can no longer protest. Do you understand? Do you understand their game plan? Britain has floated their own fund for end SARS youths. Presidency have floated their own. Governors and millionaires have floated their own, chasing you with money. And they know that very soon you will fall. They know you're going to fall. You will fall. And once you fall, this whole program, this whole revolution has come to an end. and then you go back and start crying once again. And who knows, you will be the victim this time around. I want to point out their lies, their flaws, what they are doing. I want the world to understand that this noble family of IPOB, we understand the game in the zoo. We know what they are doing. They called a meeting in Abuja between the British High Commission, the presidency, and the UK government abroad. They said, a Nigerian loves money, a Nigerian youth, they're very hungry, give them money and they will abandon their protest. Therefore, we are going to launch one in the UK, we are going to launch one by the presidency, and millionaires and governors are going to launch one. Go and identify who the leaders are in every state and give them money to abandon the protest. They think we don't know. That was why they didn't want us to broadcast last night, but we're doing it this very morning, and the whole world is now aware of what is happening in the damnable Zoological Republic. SARS or COSO, who doesn't know, it is going to come to an end. It's going to come to an end. And there was something again that was very troubling. They said that a Human Rights Commission to investigate violations by SARS, now they have woken up as a result of the protest. People don't know there is something called Human Rights Commission. It is their job to investigate violations of people's rights in Nigeria. They don't exist because they're in the pocket of Asorok. They don't do nothing. The only reason why they are saying it now, we are going to investigate, of course they will not do anything, it's just like one of those panel of inquiries by Senate or House of Reps that doesn't see the light of day. It is all the same thing. They are all one. At last they have said we are going to investigate. But where have you been all these years? Where have you been all these years? All these years, where have you been? Have you not received reports about SARS atrocities on your desk? They have, but they have not investigated. They are only investigating now. Now, ask yourself this question. Why have they decided to investigate now? Because people are now protesting. Because people are now complaining. If you don't complain or protest, nobody will know or hear about your grievances. That is why the protest must continue. They have not investigated the SARS atrocities for very many years. It's only now, for the very first time, why have they said, or why have they come up to say we are going to investigate? Because people are now out on the streets protesting. That is why you must remain on the streets. That is why the protest must continue. The protest must continue. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what Facebook and their likes do. It doesn't matter what the agents of Janjaweedism do. It doesn't matter what the UK government is doing by floating this stupid, ridiculous fund of $10,000, which is nothing anyway. It doesn't matter what Asorok does by floating or refloating 75 billion naira worth of grants to youths. It doesn't matter what their governors and their millionaires do. You must remain resolute. You must remain resolute. Once you go in, it is over. Once you go in right now, it is over. We are at the crest. We are riding a crested wave of new beginning. Don't allow it to slip through your hands. Very, very important indeed. Very, very important indeed. And this End SARS campaign that is coming from the south, it is now also infecting the north. We are worried over Buhari's silence to call for sack of service chiefs according to northern elders, and they're going to also protest. And somebody wrote very cleverly and responded by saying, you don't look for the dead amongst the living. People are worried over Buhari's silence because Buhari is in a grave in Saudi Arabia. He is going to be silent forever and ever. The person you're saying is Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar, that's his name. I told you when Jubril left, I told you that Jubril is gone. The new boy on the block is Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. Even Shekau knows his name. Go and watch the video. In fact, I want the video posted this morning. If it's not posted after this program, I'll post it myself. I want the world to go and see what is happening. I want you to open your eyes. Even in the north, as a result of what is happening in the south, even the north are now beginning to wake up. Forget the distraction stories about thugs attacking people who are protesting. That is a ruse organized by politicians. That is the way they are. They want to sustain one Nigeria, and as a result of that, continue their loot and their Janjaweedism. And we are going to put a stop to that. You go grab and we'll put a stop to it, not mine, of course. We are worried over Buhari's silence to call for sack of service chiefs, northern elders. They are now asking Buhari to listen to the voice of reason before it is too late. Say women and children are suffering in large numbers in Northeast and Northwest. You people brought Boko Haram, didn't you? You brought Janjaweedism. You brought ISIS in West Africa. You people, the same North who are today complaining, they are the ones receiving largest share of aid from EU, from US, for a problem that they themselves created. And I have said to President Trump, if you can stop giving money to California, because you know that some people that are the ones setting up the wildfires, they use accelerants and they start burning everywhere because they want federal aid. And Trump said, no, I will not give you any more money. Trump should also say no to the Northeast and Northwest, because they are the ones that brought Boko Haram and insecurity. It is them. I don't want people to absorb this present regime or absorb the Fulani of the blame of insecurity in Nigeria. It was the Fulani that brought insecurity to Nigeria, not anybody else. They brought Boko Haram, they brought banditry, they brought ISIS in West Africa, they brought Miet Yala, they brought Ansaru, they brought Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb. The fault lies with them. And then government, the protest has to continue. Everything I tell you this morning is geared towards making people realize what is before them and making them come to the understanding that this must continue. Are you going to separate a campaign again to end lopsided constitutional appointment? When Garba Shehu was talking the other day as we played, you saw him lying through his teeth. Somebody from the Bar Association or the Bar Association have written to the zoo asking them how about the appointment of all these people. Maybe I will do the analysis on Sunday. I am going to allow some of you to place your calls this morning. I will take it. And I want you to encourage those who are about to go out to protest, those who are already protesting, and to give whatever support you can to make sure that this very effort is sustained on the ground. Because the Fulani Janjaweed regime in Asorok want to bring this whole thing to an end, and we are saying no to it. Because if you stop protesting now, there are over 300 army and police checkpoints in the southeast alone. If you combine South, which is Biafra land, if you combine it, there are over 900 checkpoints in Biafra land. If you stop going out to protest, those checkpoints will still be there, extorting and killing people. If you don't give them 100 naira, they will shoot you dead. That is something you must understand. And also the zoo, the same governors, they are ganging up. You know, that's what they do. Once you become a governor, you want to keep Nigeria one because you want all your allocation to be flowing in all the time. Federal government flags off initiative to end Boko Haram banditry. How is that going to be possible? I don't know. He's a Yoruba man. He says he wants to go to the northeast to go and end banditry. I do not know. The Minister of Interior, Ralph Adegbashala, flagged off a meeting in Maiduguri in Borno State capital on Tuesday, according to a press statement by the ministry's director, Mohammed Manga. Nobody saw him there, but that's what they said. While calling on Nigerians to support the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, of course, leading it from the grave in Saudi Arabia, in its effort to exterminate insurgency that is making living of ordinary Nigerians difficult and miserable. He said the government was ready to tap into the knowledge of the people in achieving this. How are they going to do it? They have now gone there and he's now recognizing Kanem Brono Empire because I did on Radio Biafra. They are copying because they all listen. They have now come and they are now recognizing Kanem Brono Empire because we mentioned them on this very platform. They are losing, isn't it? They are on the losing side. And right now, I am going to open the line. Please listen very carefully. I will not mention this line more often. Please listen very, very carefully. And I can assure you, even tomorrow morning, we are also going to be on Telegram as well, that more people may be able to join us. We understand this morning that Buratai is threatening demonstrators. Hi, Chineke miye, I am praying. Nigerian army remains resolute to the peace and stability of the nation. They are threatening to bring out the army. And I'm telling you right now, once they bring out the army, IPOB will go out on the streets. I can assure you of that. My goodness. That's what they do. Threat all the time. Fulani. That's the only weapon they have is to threaten people. Rubbish and useless, and Buratai doesn't exist. Ask him to give. Let him not issue statement. Let him come out live. Of course, they will go and use deep fake videos And they start preparing it as they always do all the time. He is talking nonsense. This one is Sage Musa. We warn all subversive elements. They can do nothing. They cannot defeat Boko Haram. You cannot defeat the entire youths of the South and the Middle Belt. You cannot do it. You are talking nonsense. You cannot do it. They have used money, did not work. I know that's what they're going to do. They will try money. If money doesn't work, they will use stress and intimidation, and that's what they're doing. You can't do nothing. You cannot do nothing. I repeat, you cannot to you again. If you come out and you mobilize against innocent people, you will die in your barracks, you will die in your police stations. Try it and see what will happen to you in the area. Our lines are open, but I want to announce the number, please. Those of you who are calling should please give us some time. I want to announce the number, please. Please do bear with me that others may be able to participate this very morning. The zoo is crumbling. They're afraid that IPOB will come out. And once we come out, you know it is over. That is why they are talking their usual nonsense, talking their usual crap. If you don't know, you will panic. You will say, oh, the army, who is the army? Are you able to defeat Boko Haram? Have you defeated Miet Yala banditry and terrorism? Nothing. You have nothing. We are the people. The people have spoken. There must be a change, and that change must happen now. And they're not going anywhere. You're talking rubbish. Your mates in Mali tried the same thing. They tried to use intimidation. And you know that Britain is advising you, give them money. If they refuse, bring out the army. As I warned you earlier, BBC will not talk, no world media will talk, but I am assuring them, if you mobilize your army will die on the streets. We assure you of that. In the area, you can kill them in Yoruba land, you can kill them in the Middle Belt or maybe in Abuja. If you try that nonsense in Biafra land, the news the world will hear tomorrow morning will be of a different one altogether. I have told you, we are prepared for you. We are prepared for you, and we are waiting for the right time. Try that nonsense in our land. Go and bring out your army to shoot innocent young protesters, and you will see what will happen to you. We will catch you with our bare hands and drink your blood. Useless idiots everywhere. The number to call this morning is +4479 51278705. I repeat, +44 is a UK number, +4479 51278705. And as always, we are also on Skype, IPOB2020@outlook.com. For Skype, it is IPOB2020@outlook.com. This is our first caller this morning. Your name, please, and where you're calling from. Please go ahead.
Hi, good morning, sir. This is Jocelyn. I'm calling from UAE.
From UAE, Jocelyn who?
Jocelyn Noah.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
My name is Jocelyn Noah.
Go ahead.
Yes. I actually have been following your broadcast. It's a good thing that it came on this morning, even though you were disrupted yesterday by Facebook. Just to make my own contribution on what is going on in Nigeria right now. My only just to congratulate the youth for coming up and for coming out to protest. This is actually it's a long due, an overdue protest, which is actually going on right now. They are doing the right thing. So what they can do is just to remain focused, because you already said it that they are going to throw in money and they want to beg and then get them off the street. There are so many things right now they can actually demand for, not just the end SARS alone. There are a lot of things they can demand for. So this is the right opportunity they've got. It's a golden opportunity that if they decide to let it go, that means it might not come back again. So many people want to cash in with this opportunity, but let them remain focused. We might not be there with them in the street, but they are the only one that can fight this fight, because we cannot come back and do it. They are the one feeling the brunt and the brutality back home in Nigeria. So this is what they are supposed to do. We are solidly behind them. In any way we can preach this, gospel, we continue to do so. By sensitizing the youth. The social media war is a very strong media. It's a very strong is a very strong media that we can use to actually, reach out to people. Without this social media, without you talking, they wouldn't have known what is going on. So this is actually reaching the grassroots. It's hitting them very hard, and they should just hold them to what is going on right now and demand for. If they can go ahead and go to the Asoro, they can do so. They can march on to that Asoro. They shouldn't let them be. They shouldn't let them intimidate them and make them succumb to their pressure and to their intimidation. They should not allow that because they've got the power. They've got the power as youth. They've got the power. They've got what it takes, to bring down that nation.
Thank you very much.
We can say right now.
Thank you for.
Focused and resolute.
Of course, they must remain focused and resolute. And thank you for your call this very morning. Thank you very, very much. I shall attempt to take some calls from Skype as well, but do not forget, please, that our normal question and answer comes up tomorrow morning. We are not stopping that. I will also come this evening to continue our broadcast. I must come on air this evening. We must encourage those who are protesting. I am coming on air this evening as well. I took this very call, and yes, I have a caller on WhatsApp. Please, your name and where you are, if you may.
All right. Good afternoon, my leader. I'm calling from Philippines. My name is Chukwuemeka Anyika from Ugwoba, in Oje River, in Enugu, Biafra land.
Thank you. Go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank you. Yeah, first of all, I want to appreciate you, your work you are doing, not just to represent Biafran alone, but African as a whole. And I also want to encourage and applaud those that are doing protests right now. But actually, it is, I think, the best preferable protest is in Nigeria, because once Nigeria is all those answers, we follow all of them, because the main problem is Nigeria, because Nigeria is not created for the indigenous people in that contraption. So it's much preferable we end Nigeria so that Nigeria will not end us. Because once we end Nigeria, we end everything that is evil within Nigeria. Because Nigeria was created by the Britain for their interests, not for the interests of our people. So that's what our people should know. I don't know why sometimes we Africans are just fighting ourselves to retain a contraption created by the Britain for their interests. So it bothers me a lot, and I want to encourage those that are doing the protest, and I want to tell them to stay strong, be strong, because we need to end this Nigeria. So my leader, that is what I call, to encourage those that is doing the protest. And I thank you so much, my leader. We are here in Philippines, and we are doing our best. We even went to British Embassy last 2 weeks to protest against the end Nigeria here in Philippines.
Very good.
Thank you, my leader. We love you, and we love what you are doing. Thank
you very much. Thank you very, very much, my dear brother. The callers this morning are superb. Superb, superb, superb. The callers this morning are exceptional, doing very, very well, and I commend each and every one of you. And for some of you who may be lucky, there are some people who may be lucky. If you are, I'll take your call. This is a caller from either Biafra land or the zoo. Where are you calling from, please?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you. What is your name and where are you calling from? Your name and where you are this morning, please. And you go straight to the point you want to make. Go ahead.
My name is Mr. John Obika, and I'm calling from Nigeria right away. I'm calling from Anambra State of Biafra land.
Yes.
And I really want to encourage our youths for coming up to protest on the streets. The revolution we are all seeking for is here now, and they should not, we the youth should not be distracted. We should focus on what we are doing right now. And by the grace of God, I see Nigerian resting in peace in the grave where it belongs to. And that is my prayer. So we should all focus. Nigeria is just remaining just a little bit. It will divide, and that is our prayer. You see, so I really want to encourage them. May God bless them, and may God bless you, our leader, Mazen Nandi Kanu. See, nothing will happen to you, sir.
He said,
Keep going power.
He said, thank you very much. I have another caller on the line. This caller, give us your name and where you are, please. This morning, we are encouraging those on the ground, bravely bracing every element to protest and register their displeasure with the damnable Zoological Republic. Your name, please, and where you are.
Hello, yeah, this is Pascal Kuli from the United States.
Pascal who? What is your father's name?
This is Pascal Osega.
Pascal who?
Osega.
Okay, thank you very much, Pascal. Osama, please, thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I tried with you several times before, but I couldn't get through to you. Regarding what's going on right now in Nigeria, I'm just trying to call. Thank God I'm able to go through tonight.
Go ahead. We are listening. The world is listening. Please go ahead.
Okay. First thing I want to ask you regarding Biafra.
Can you please take off your phone from speaker and talk to me normally, please? Speak to me normally that the world may be able to hear you properly. Speak to me normally and move away from your listening device as well. If you can hear my voice, that means the world is also hearing your voice as well. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me, Mark?
Yeah, it's better now. Go ahead.
Okay. I said I wanted to ask you some few questions regarding Biafra.
No, questions will be done tomorrow. Questions will be done tomorrow, but you can ask today anyway. But tomorrow morning, we are still coming on air at 7 a.m. Biafra land time to take your questions. But very, very briefly, please. Today is for those who are coming out bravely to protest on the ground in Nigeria or across Nigeria. Go ahead.
I already made a video regarding to those coming out to do a protest down in Nigeria. But just this very question, I'm going to ask you. Okay, since you said questions going to be asked tomorrow, I'll leave this question for tomorrow. But I just want to appreciate you again for kind of giving us the kind of morale and able to lead us and very boldly and brilliantly. And I'll say a very big thank you to that. But tomorrow I'm going to give a call back and regard my questions.
Please do that tomorrow. Thank you very much for understanding. I have a caller who happens to be, I believe this caller is on Skype. Please, your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning, sir. I hope you are talking to me, sir.
I'm talking to you, ma. Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I am Evangelist Uzak Nwokike calling from Mpo.
Thank you very much.
Land. In fact, I want to thank you for answering the call of Chukwokike Abiyama to lead Biafra out of the contraction. And I want the whole world to hear me this morning. And those who call themselves Nigerians. On the 14th of September 2020, this year, the Spirit of God began to speak to me. He said that Fulanis are the descendants of Cain, who killed his brother at the inception when God created the world in the book of the Bible, Genesis chapter 4. When Cain killed his brother Abel, God cursed Cain and said, "You will be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth." That is a wonder. Whoever that reads the Bible, go to the Bible and read Genesis chapter 4 from verse 8 to 20. You will see it there. And when God cursed Cain, Cain left the presence of God and started wandering about. And he took a wife and came back. And then the children were subjected to wandering. They don't have any place. They don't have any country. They don't have any portion assigned to them. They are wanderers. And in verse 20, want to fight, you will see.
Excuse me, ma. This program this morning is for support for those who are on the ground risking their lives, the brave youths that are across Nigeria, as a matter of fact, and Biafra land for that matter, who are risking their lives. I love what you're saying. The gospel and the teaching you're giving us this morning is very good, but I do promise you, when we come back tomorrow during our question and answer, I will do everything I can to get hold of you, and you shall speak on air again. Thank you very much for that. We want to support the brave young men and women who are out protesting, doing something that nobody has been able to do before. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, please. You are not listening. You have not been following us. Once you call this very program, you move away from your listening device, please. Give us your name and where you are, the caller on WhatsApp.
This is Mr. Ihechi Meredema. Calling from Manchester, United Kingdom.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want you, Mazi, I thank you very much for what you're doing. I've been following you. You've been doing fantastic work. And I want to say, God Almighty, that I've called you. And we see you through this. Struggle in Jesus' name.
Yes,
and I want to quickly tell you to, as I know that all the youth in Nigeria, most of them are listening and they're hearing your voice now. I want you to tell them not to relent and not to also listen to anybody that will come as their leader, because they have no leader. This is a spontaneous action. There's no leader here. I'm seeing some freedom fighters or Revolution Now organizers saying that some people are becoming billionaires over there by going to negotiate with powers that be and collecting money. Tell them that nobody is their leader. Anybody that have gone and collect billions, let them collect it on their own. So they should not listen to anybody. They should do what is right. This is the last opportunity they have to put things right in Nigeria. If they lose this opportunity for another 2 decades or 3 decades, they will continue to wallow in poverty and misery. Please, you should tell them to stand their ground, until they see the end.
Of course. Thank you very much and well spoken this morning. That is what we want to hear. Of course, Facebook has cut us off. Facebook. I know Facebook is Facebook have cut us off. That we are continuing. That is what they are doing. That is what they will continue to do. They will cut us off and we shall continue. They cut us off on Facebook and we continue. We are back on Facebook. Tell them, those who are listening, we are on YouTube. We are on IPOB Community Radio. We are on Radio Biafra app. We are on FM. We are on satellite. We are everywhere. So Facebook is wasting their time. I have a caller who happens to be on the line. This caller, give us your name and where you're calling us from. Everything is about SARS and end SARS now, please. Zoo, as always, no network. The caller on the line on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Please, your name and where you're calling from. We are back again on my page on Facebook at Martin Namdekano. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Efshon Enobong. I'm calling from the Zoo Republic of Nigeria.
And where are you from? Enobong, where are you from? Where is your village? Where are you from?
Wherever you see it, I'm from Uyo Akwa Ibom.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
So my contribution is that whenever you see any Fulani man, you always see them with dagger and sword. If you see a Fulani man like 5 of them standing or sitting, that means you are seeing 5 dagger, 5 sword. And in the zoo army, they will not do them anything, they will not arrest them. But if they see any Biafra man or Oduduwa man that hold ordinary cutlass, maybe going to the family in the town, the zoo armies will arrest them and take them to the station, so and beat them and treat them anyhow. But whenever they see any Fulani man they don't arrest any Fulani man. Fulani is free to move with dagger and sword in the town, in the street, anywhere. And my advice is that when Biafra come, all those things should stop.
Oh, of course, it won't happen. You won't have them moving around our land. Once Biafra is here, you won't have them moving around our land. And there's something I want to also point out from what you have said. The reason why some of you are out there protesting is because there is double standard in Nigeria's policing as well. If you are Fulani Janjaweed and you're carrying a knife, you're carrying a sword, you're carrying dagger, nobody disturbs you. But if you're from anywhere else and they find these things on you, SARS will not only arrest you, SARS will kill you, harvest your organs, and render your life of your family, those you've left behind, miserable. I have another caller on WhatsApp. Please give us your name and where you're calling us from. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from, please. They are not paying attention. A lot of people are listening. Even those who are out to protest, they are listening. But they must understand us. Don't call on video, please. No calls will be taken via video. Audio calls only, please. Audio calls only. Yes, please. The caller on the phone.
Hello, my name is Uche Evans from Switzerland.
From Switzerland, please go ahead.
Okay, please, I have 3 contributions to make. Number 1, I saw a video on YouTube from BV1 channels, a BIAFRA YouTube. So the Fulani governor was saying there, it was the TV question, a TV channel question they asked him.
My sister, I'm going to stop you right there. Stop, please. Stop. Excuse me. I'm going to stop you, my dear sister. That very video you're talking about, we have it. It is everywhere. And I'm going to analyze it tonight. I'm going to broadcast again tonight, 7 p.m. Biafra land time tonight. During that very time, I will also open the lines. I will also make it a question and answer, not question and answer session. I will make it a live, interactive phone-in session as well. We are going to analyze that video. After the analysis, we take calls based on that very video. This very morning, we are taking calls based on what is happening on the ground across Nigeria. People who are protesting very bravely, courageous, heroic men and women out on the streets demonstrating. We want to encourage them. That's what we are discussing this very morning and nothing else. That very video will be analyzed this evening, and I will also take calls on it.
Okay, I'm going to call again because I have 3 good contributions to make.
I will note that, and this evening you're going to call because I will live again this evening and also live again tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for your call. Let us go, and the calls are plentiful. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me for the last time? No, they cannot. They cannot hear me. I don't know, but why can't they hear me? It keeps saying reconnect. It's the Zoo now. They have maybe jammed their lines. I don't know what is going on. Let us try again. People are calling us from. Can you hear me? The caller on the line, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. I can hear you very well. My name is Mazi Okeru Yedikachi. I'm calling you from Iguacha.
From Iguacha? Mazi Yedikachi, go ahead, please. You are listening. Yes.
Yes, I really thank you for what you're doing. But please, my own contribution to those on ground is that the way to stop treachery is by attacking treachery.
Yes.
If people go down to collect money and you do not do anything, more people will come up, claim leaders and collect money and reach themselves. Anybody who goes there to collect money on your behalf, to claim that they are your leaders, catch that person and tear him to pieces. Then by so doing, you will stop other people from going there to claim your leaders and collect money. That is what I'm suggesting. Those who are protesting, there are no jobs. I am a graduate. We have about in our house. There is no job. Nobody is working. Everybody is suffering. There are no jobs, there are no roads. Even that money they are planning to give you, if you collect that money and buy iPhone or buy anything better or better your life, that's what will still kill you. The reason why it kills people is because they say expensive things from them. So all those people that are going to collect money come out and tell you that you people should stop, they should draw a line and all. Draw the line on their heads. And if those Fulani 1,500 people come again to attack you, you people should beat.
They should kill them. Kill them.
Enough of this nonsense.
They won't come again.
Kill them, enough of this
if they come to attack any PC, kill them. They will not come again. And once they bring out the army, then IPOB will come out and meet them.
The reason why they are getting away with all this nonsense is just simple because we have been doing nothing. If you push, if they come with those their stick, catch them, collect their stick from them, and use that stick to kill them, and let all this. If they going to sink once and let us all die and rest, what kind of nonsense is this?
I love you, my dear brother. When people speak like this, I fall in love with them. I'm telling you the truth. I fall in love with them. Somebody is coming to disrupt a peaceful protest. You kill the idiot there and then, and others will stop. Somebody goes and takes money from their billionaires and their governors. You make a mincemeat of that person, so others will stop going. Black people, I don't know what is. I have no idea. Even our lines are jammed. I don't even believe that even ordinary. I wouldn't say ordinary. That Android can even be jammed, but it's jammed this very morning. Let me go and see if I can take a call. The calls are too plentiful. The calls are too plentiful, way too plentiful. Oh my goodness. The systems can't even cope anymore with it. And I'm very glad. It makes me glad. I am very, very glad about this. Very, very glad. We are taking your calls this morning, please. We are... My dear brother, give us your name and where you are calling us from. If I can get your speaker to work, because our lines are crashing this morning. Too many calls, way too many calls, way too many. The calls are endless. And we expect it because the whole world is listening. Yes, please, my dear brother, give us your name and where you're calling from, please, if you may.
My name is Ubong Etim. I'm calling from Lagos, Nigeria.
Ubong Etim, please hold on. I want to get you. Please, can people who are calling, some of you should please try and stop. It is too much. The calls are just too plentiful. Just wait, and hear somebody. We want to hear Etim speak. I don't know why everybody is calling and you're jamming up the whole line. The whole line is jammed. Etim, can you hear me? Yes, please.
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Etim, please go ahead.
My able leader, we are all out here in Lagos State.
Wonderful.
Nothing will happen. No intimidation will make us to go back.
Wonderful.
We are ready for this old caucus. We are ready for these useless men.
Useless and failed men, failed elders, my foot, failed people.
Who have finished our father's future, who are ready and vouch to finish our own future. We are ready for them. Let them bribe whoever they want to bribe. And we want to tell them, because you've opened our eyes. We've known a lot of things. I want to tell you that people that listen to you via iPop app is even more than people that listen to you on Facebook. So don't panic whether they drop it. When you left, I was still listening to you. I was telling my wife that I'm still listening to you. Can you hear me, sir?
Very good. The world is listening. If I can hear you, that means the world is hearing you. Go ahead.
We listen. There are lots of people listening to you in other devices rather than Facebook. So don't even let them feel that because they are reducing your number on Facebook, people are not listening to you. We are listening to you, and we are ready for that time that you give order. Once you give order, all of those useless men, even in the so-called South, we are going to deal with them. Because they finish us. We want to recreate our life and make meaningful for our life and for our future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. And I love your dressing. I have dressed like this before. I love the dressing you have on here with your very beautiful wife. I love it. On one of my pictures, I dressed exactly this way. Is this particular attire? Is it Ibibio or Anang? Which one is it? It's a Bibio, wonderful, very beautiful attire, and I love it. I dressed like this when BBC came to my house. Thank you very much, my dear brother. And you people should continue, come out on the streets of Lagos, in Abuja, everywhere. And let me tell Buratai, they say that we have nothing, we make noise. I want Buratai to mobilize the army against the protesters. I will give the order to volunteer command tonight, and the world will hear the news tomorrow. If they think they cannot die, let the army attack the protesters and thunder will fire them. Thank you very much. People must be very strong and resolute. Very, very strong and resolute. Etim, thank you very much for that very call. He dressed so well. I love his picture. The picture on his WhatsApp is amazing. The way he's dressed is Zibibio traditional dress. It's absolutely beautiful. The caller on the line, can you hear me? I have a caller on. The calls are just unbelievable. Can you please hear me? The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. My name is Okoro Mechinedu. I'm calling from Cambodia.
From Cambodia. Thank you very much. The world is listening. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your work. Good work you've been doing. I've been following you for a very long time. Ever since I've been learning so much from you. And this particular thing happening in Nigeria, I am very, very supportive of it. And they should go more by saying, end Nigeria. Nigeria needs to be end, not end SARS. SARS is not the main problem we have now in Nigeria. The problem we have now is bad government and the evil that is happening in that country need to be ended. So this is what the only thing I have to say now, and I have to commend you for your good work, sir. You are doing very well, and the God will continue guiding and blessing you and your family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your call. And I want them to understand that this is IPOB generation. Every youth who is coming out now to protest, if you ask all of them, they will tell you that they got their training, their orientation and sensitization by listening to Radio Biafra. And regardless of where you are, if you are participating in this very protest, you are also one of us, because you hate injustice and you hate evil. I have a caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please.
Good morning, Odisi.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you are, please, and you go straight to the point.
Okay, Afamogo Anthony Anozia. It's in Germany, Akbo.
Anthony Anozia, thank you very much. And Anthony, hold on, please. You had people who are going to protest from Lagos that called. They will not understand what you're saying. Not many of them will. Please speak, even if it is broken English, that they may hear you, because people who are attending protest this morning are listening to Radio Biafra. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Onisi, please, Mazi, I want you to, if it can be possible for you to give the whole coordinators, the whole world, to call emergency IPOB family meeting. We need to let us donate money for volunteers on the ground. We need to give money to volunteers. We need to equip them. You understand what I mean? I want you to call emergency meeting to IPOB the whole world, contact the whole coordinators. Let us, even if it is $50, €50, €20, we need to do something so that our volunteers will be strong. You understand what I mean? I don't want to go further.
I know, but I can assure you that they are strong right now. And let me tell you something. There are some people, men and women, young and old, that Elohim, the God Almighty in heaven, brought out for this very project. They don't sleep. We don't need to go back to even call a meeting for them to prepare or equip our volunteers. They are doing that on a regular, daily basis. And in the end, when the history of this very effort will be written, the world will hear about those brave men and women as well. So we are ready and we are prepared. You heard me here and I said, if Buratai thinks that he is strong, he should mobilize the army on the streets. Then he will say the might of IPOB. Right now, this very protest is peaceful. People are demanding for what is right, for an end to police and army brutality. And that is right. And I want them to keep it that way. But they must stay until all the demands are met. They must remain on the streets until all our demands are met, all of it, from top to bottom. Because the demands of these young people who are asking for end to SARS is what everybody wants. The thing about common sense is that when you're asking for something that resonates, everybody will identify with it. Everybody will, and I identify with it, and I thank you very much. And the meetings are going on, I assure you, and things are going to happen very, very imminently. The caller on the line, can you hear me? The world is listening. I don't know what has gone on. Reconnect again. I have no idea. I have no idea whatsoever. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? For the last time, the caller. What is making it? These are people calling from very powerful countries where there are no network issues. So what is going on? The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. My name is Elvis Ololo. I'm calling from Berlin, Germany.
Thank you very much. Elvis, where are you from?
I'm from Abia State, Biafra land.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Sir, I'm very happy to get to you. I have been trying to get to you, but thank God I get you today. So let me go straight to why I'm calling. My suggestion is this. First of all, thank the whole people that came out on the streets. I have been broadcasting on Facebook and Instagram, trying to broadcast everything so that the whole world will see what is happening in this our useless government that is just treating us and maltreating us every day. So my suggestion is this. Is it possible from your command that you can direct the IPOP, the Biafrans living abroad, for them to come out on the streets in the whole diaspora? When I talk about diaspora, I mean everywhere right now, so that we can hear from our own side. We are agitating end Nigeria, so that the BBC, the CNN that don't want to share the news, that don't want to record the news and broadcast the news about Biafra, they have to. They don't have any other option. So it will be our own support, so that when people are saying end SARS, we are saying in Nigeria, it has to be a massive movement. If you can give the command that everybody, if it's 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, we all go on the street. Because from my own observation, since the Europeans don't want us to live, since the Europeans, they are the people that made Africa to be poverty, to be poor. They are the people that had a conference in Berlin, and they shared Africa among themselves. So since they say we are not going to sleep, since the UN say we are not going to sleep, they will not sleep as well. So that the whole world will talk about SARS and brutality, the whole world will at the same time talk about Oduduwa and Biafra at the same time, the same speed. I don't know if I'm making sense, sir.
Too much sense, and I have heard what you've said. Here we teach, and we also learn, we also allow ourselves to be taught. What you have said is very poignant, is very important, and we are going to do something about it, be rest assured. There is no going back. As I said before, some of you recall my broadcast a few months ago, I said that the only thing saving the zoo is coronavirus. That's what I said. That very soon that anger will erupt and people will come out on the streets, and it's happening now. And we're not going back until we get everything that we want. Now is the time. But those who are at home will need to sustain it for a while so that we know they are serious. So that when we unleash the Armageddon, it will now give us the desired results. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I want to talk to people who are at protest grounds all around Nigeria. They are the ones that I want to talk to. Those who are at the protest venue, they are the ones I want to talk to. Although I know that they may switch off the what's it called? What's it called again? You know, the transmitting the mask that they have around those areas. They may do so, because that is why I've not been able to take any calls from any of those people. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me, please? The world is listening. Your name and where you are, if you may.
Hello, my leader.
Yes, please. Your name and where you are.
My name is Chibuzo Emmanuel.
Chibuzo, where are you calling from?
From Ireland.
You're calling from Ireland?
I'm calling from Ireland.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Republic of Ireland.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say regarding to those who are protesting,
to end SARS now, I want to say that now is actually a good time for them to ask all the questions that they want to ask, that they have had in their mind for many years.
You're right.
Now is the time.
You're right.
To ask them.
You're right.
And now is the time to also demand for the answers they have been expecting for all these years. Now is the time for them to get the answers. If they fail to utilize this opportunity now, they might not have it again.
That is
for the Nigerians. This is Nigerians. I won't call them the zoo so that they won't take offense. But as for us, Biafrans, I believe that we are still keying in on what is happening. We also support what is going on because we don't believe or we don't support any human maltreatment. It doesn't matter if it's from if it's happening in Arewa or Oduduwa or Biafra, or as long as it affects human beings, we don't support that. I'm an Igbo person. We don't support that where I come from. I grew up in Aba. Yeah, I'm from Enugu. I am I'm a true son of the soil. I know exactly what our people values and what we don't value. We don't condone killing of human beings.
It's not good. Mado.
Don't condone that.
The beauty of life.
We don't
condone killing.
Yes, Mado. It actually means the beauty of life.
The beauty of life itself.
No other. I've checked other tribes. I hear Hausa very well. I check and I keep asking questions. Even the Europeans, the people, the white people I meet here, I keep asking them to explain to me what is human being. What does it mean in their language? And each time they tell me, it doesn't mean the same thing.
It doesn't mean anything. A human being is just a living species. That's the meaning of a human being.
They will just tell me, human being is a human being now. And I will say no, but in my place, it means the beauties of life.
The beauty of life.
Yes. Even the dog has life. Chicken has life.
Please, my dear brother, I'm sorry to interrupt, please. There is a news that is breaking, please. There are protesters who slept on Lekki toll gate. And what we should be talking about is making sure that those people are properly fed on the ground. If you're driving around Lekki, please just don't drive past. This is how it is normally done elsewhere in the world. Buy bread, buy pure water, get them chewing stick, anything at all. We must sustain them. If you have people protesting around your area, you must feed them, please. Get whatever you have and feed those people. Give them food, give them water, sustain them. They are fighting for a better tomorrow. They are fighting for your children. They are fighting for your grandchildren. I commend those who slept at Lekki Tollgate, and I am also instructing our people all across Lagos to make sure that these people are fed. If you're a bakery owner, make sure you bake more than usual. If you're a restaurateur, please make sure you cook more food than usual, because these people will need to be fed. You must feed. An army marches on its stomach. They are not an army yet, of course, but we must feed these protesters. The Vanguard, I just saw it now, that some people slept on Lekki Bridge. They must be fed. They must be fed. This is time to show acts of kindness to anybody, any young person you see around you who is protesting. That person is a hero, and they must be treated as such. Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you very much for calling. Have you made your point? Please go ahead. No. I am going to take another call, please. We must feed those who are out on the streets. They must be fed, please. Those who slept on Lekki Bridge, they must be taken care of, and they must be looked after, please. Very, very important. That is how it is done everywhere else in the world. Those coming out in Abuja, those coming out in Lagos, those coming out elsewhere in Iguacha, they must be fed, please. Try and feed them. Extend kindness to these people. It is very, very important. The caller on the line, can you hear me? We are live and direct, and the world is listening.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Joseph Ogaga.
I'm calling you from Delta State, beside Urobo.
Urobo, thank you very much.
I like what you are doing. I like what you are doing. You are doing a good work. This morning I went to a house. Me, I'm not IPOB member. I don't believe on BIAFRA, but I went to a house this morning. A police DPO. I went there. Is my very good closet person to me. Mm-hmm. He called me. I went there this morning. I went there because of discussing some issue, but from there he said one word, that everything Nnamdi Kanu is saying is true, that there is nobody in Aso Rock, but they can't come out and say it.
A DPO, hold on a second. Hold on. We want to understand something. A DPO said this to you when? When did they say this to you? When?
This morning. As I'm an Urobo man. I don't believe in Biafra, but
why don't you hold on? Why don't you believe in Biafra? Why don't you? You are Urobo. Are you Yoruba? Do you believe that Urobo is Yoruba?
No. We know that if Biafra happen, Urobo will follow, because when the children of Israel want to leave the Egypt, not all of them agree not all of them agree, but at the end they enter the promised land.
You have spoken well.
Cannot come from.
Thank you very much. Continue your story.
And fight for battle.
Thank you.
But at the end,
they will join.
At the end, we follow. Everybody cannot come out.
I know.
But the man said this word. But one thing I want to say now is that I see people, mostly Igbo people, in Facebook talking about this, abusing what you are doing. I told my wife, I see these people. They know what they are doing. See what they are saying. I told my wife, see what these people are saying. Your brother is fighting a good thing. In my community, I have 88. We have 88 oil wells in the community. Go there, people cannot eat. If people do not go to find they can't eat. There's nothing to show about oil. Nothing to talk about oil. The people are suffering in my community. And you are talking of one Nigeria. What are you achieving in one Nigeria? Those that come running for one Nigeria. Go to my community.
My dear brother, we are suffering. All of us are suffering.
At the end, I think the other day I was watching Rose TV in my house. A man came, he put on white and white. There was a tagging the man. The man was Midwest region, Western region. I said, what this man is saying? Now you are in London. Our people are dying hungry here. Our people cannot eat. You are in London enjoying yourself. Do you think that everybody, you don't know how many people are ready to move for London in my place, but they don't have anybody to sponsor them? Even to finish all this school is a problem. Even food, people break can to eat gari, to eat dry gari. People cannot eat a pot of soup here. A manage a pot of soup is 5,000, and for you to get 5,000 in Nigeria is a problem. And the country need to disappear now. This revelation.